Hey everyone, this is Brian from ActiveMelody.com. Well, we're back to the acoustic guitar this week, and in this lesson we're going to learn a fingerstyle Delta blues in the key of E. It's got kind of a Robert Johnson feel to it. And so I've split this lesson into two videos. So in this video we're going to learn just the first half of what I played. If you want to learn the second half, as well as download the tablature for the entire lesson, you can go to ActiveMelody.com and look for EP037. But let's go ahead and take a look at the first half. Alright, so as I mentioned in the intro, this song is played fingerstyle, so if you'll notice with the right hand I'm not using a pick. I'm plucking the strings. And if you're new to fingerstyle, or maybe you've never played it but always kind of wanted to learn how to do it, this would be a great lesson for that, because I'm going to spend a lot of time kind of with both hands explaining what goes on. And most of the challenge when you're playing something like this is in the right hand. It's actually the fretted notes on this are pretty straightforward. But another thing you may notice is that my fingernails are longer on the right hand. That's just a preference thing. I mean, you don't have to do that. A lot of great fingerstyle players do not grow their fingernails out. It gives you a little, there's a functional piece to it because you can grab the string a little bit easier, but it's more of a tone thing than anything. If the flesh of the finger is hitting the string, you get a much more soft and kind of muted sound. So it's just a preference thing. So don't feel that you have to go out and you have to wait and grow your fingernails out before you can do this. You can do it without. Okay, so I always like to break these things down into little pieces, and then we'll learn each piece, and then you can put them all together and play it. So this first piece sounds like this. And that's actually pretty easy to do. It may sound complicated, but the left hand in particular is actually, there's not a lot going on there. Kind of a lot of shared positions and shared notes. So the first thing, I'm going to start with the left hand, explain that, and then I'll kind of go back and forth between the left and right, but we'll start with how I'm fretting this. So this first thing is an E7th chord, and I'm playing it up here. I know a lot of you may know an E7th down here in first position, but what I like to do for this style is it's really a D7th shape. So if you're familiar with a D7th in first position, it's just sliding that up and playing it here. And what the result of that is my ring finger on the first string, 4th fret, pointer finger on the second string, 3rd fret, and middle finger on the 3rd string, 3rd fret. I'm sorry, 3rd string, 4th fret. So you get that little kind of triangle shape. And when I play that, I'm using my pointer finger on the 3rd string, my middle finger on the 2nd string, and my ring finger on the 1st string. And I'm plucking them all at the same time. That's one of the advantages of fingerstyle, is you can do stuff like that. You can, the pick you're going to be raking, but when you're playing it fingerstyle, you can pluck them all at once, almost like playing a piano. Now, in addition to that, I've also got my thumb, which comes to the 6th string, or the low E string, and I play that like this. So I'm not playing strings 4 and 5 at all, but that's how I'm getting that E7th sound. Really cool. And what I do to start it is I kind of slide up like that. And so that's just my middle finger I really come down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. And then I slide up to where my middle finger would naturally be once I get to that E7th shape, which is on the 4th fret. And as soon as I get in position, then what I do is at the same time that I hit the low E string, I hit the 1, 2, and 3 like this. In fact, I take that back. I actually hit strings 1 and 2 with my ring finger and my middle finger, because I've already kind of played that 3rd string. So together slowly it sounds like this. So you can see that as soon as I hit these two, or at the same time rather, I'm hitting that low E string. So it's like this. And that's probably, if you're new to this, just stop there. Don't even go any further, and just try and get the timing of that. Now, one of the things you're going to notice in the way that I'm doing the bass notes in this, and the bass notes are played with your thumb when you're doing this fingerstyle, is that it's just on the beat. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's like this. Just as you would tap your foot or clap if you were playing along with this, or clapping along with it, keeping the time. Those are the notes that you play your thumb with. So you can see. You hear it? It just keeps going the whole time. Now that is easier said than done in the beginning, especially if you're new to fingerstyle. That's it's kind of like patting your head and rubbing your stomach at the same time. It's one of those kind of mind things that it's like learning to juggle almost. But you can do it. You just have to kind of break it down and do it really slowly in the beginning. So let's back up. So after this, then what I do is watch this. Watch my ring finger here. What I'm doing is I'm taking it off the fretboard. Notice my pointer finger and middle finger stay locked down the whole time. And with my right hand, I'm really just using my middle finger and ring finger on strings 1 and 2, like this. But at the same time, I've got my thumb going like this. So altogether, that sounds like. And just practice doing that. That's impossible to do that and talk at the same time. Just to get a rhythm going, a groove. So backing up we have, and this is very Robert Johnson sounding. He would do a lot of this kind of stuff. Now after that, then I slide everything down 1 fret with my left hand to get this sound. Isn't that cool? Now notice the bass note stays the same. So the bass string, rather the 6th string, I continue playing that low E string. So that doesn't change for the whole first part of this song. So now watch the left hand. So once I slide everything down, I go ahead and take my ring finger off so that when I play that, do that first thing, it sounds like this. So it's kind of almost like the opposite of what I played. The first time I went. The second time I go, so that when I conclude that, I've got my finger down, my ring finger down on the 3rd fret. So we start off, then down, off, and then down. So. All right. Now, after that, then I come back up and I go. Now, the only difference is when I come back up, my middle finger and pointer finger come back to exactly where they were. This time, the ring finger comes off the fretboard so that I'm playing that open E string on the top. So the top open E string, so that the 1 string is just open. In addition to playing it with these two fretted notes. So you're playing the same strings, you've got your ring finger off the fretboard now. So this time it sounds like this. Now I just slide these 2 down. Again, ring finger still off. And you can hear what it's doing. It's leaving that open E string, that high E string ringing out, and it gives a real nice kind of a clash. Now notice at the same time the thumb is still going, so here it is slowly. Alright, let me back up just to that point. So we have. Oh, there's one other little rhythmic thing that happens there before I do that last part that I just showed you. So watch it, you'll hear it. Right there I went, which is just pointer finger on the 3rd string. Another stroke there where I'm plucking the 1 and 2 string while I'm hitting the 6th string at the same time. So, all right. So what we have, I just forgot to mention that part. So, going to come and learn this new part. Which we just did. And now we're going to learn. Now, that's the same fretted notes. Nothing really changed there. I just started here, slid down one, and back. The difference is the timing. So with the right hand, so I do it like a triplet thing where I go. And notice when I'm doing that, I'm playing strings 1, 2, 3 at the same time, like this. And continuing the bass note with my thumb. Now, that's going to be challenging in the beginning if you're new, just because it may feel fast to try and do that. But I would just practice that piece. I would, set a metronome or tap your foot or whatever and just get a. Notice the thumb. If I stop playing these fingers, you'll hear the thumb just going. And notice, let me do that slowly so you can watch the thumb. Notice how normally the string would ring out. It would sound like this. But I'm kind of going like this. So when I play that bass note, I'm always kind of playing it and then put my finger back on it to stop it and wait for the next time it's going to come. So it's like this. And practice doing that. Just practice getting a nice muted bass thing like that. And that just, like I said, it just takes time. So just, if you get frustrated with it, just, put it away for a few minutes, come back to it, and eventually something just clicks. A lot of it's muscle memory, and all of a sudden you'll be able to do it. And hopefully you never forget. It's kind of like riding a bike. Okay, let me back up. I'll play that whole first part. I'll do it slowly. So here we go. Alright, so now we come to the second part, which sounds like this. And for that, we're kind of going to the A part of the song. So if you think of it's a 12-bar blues, now we're in the A. And what's nice about playing blues, and actually a reason that a lot of blues players do play in the key of E, especially if they're doing fingerstyle, is you have these open notes which are just natural. So you got that open E. Then when you come to the A part, you've got an open A, so you can continue now playing your thumb down on the fifth string or the A string without having to worry about fretting that. So what I do there is I go. And for that, it's actually pretty easy because all I'm doing is on the 5th fret here, 2nd string, I've got my pointer finger down. And then on the 6th fret, 3rd string, I've got my ring finger down. So I'm just playing those two strings. It's strings 2 and 3, and I'm plucking them with my pointer finger and middle finger like this. And at the same time that I'm doing that, I'm now putting my thumb down on the 5th string, not the 6th string, to get the A note. So I kind of slide into it like this. So I go. Those are my first two notes. Okay. Now I keep this exact same shape, and then I slide that shape all the way up so that my pointer finger is down on the 8th fret and my middle finger is down on the 9th fret. And those are the notes that we'll play. So then we come back. So altogether that part sounds like this. Okay, now after that, then I keep this shape down, I just take my ring finger while this is down and put it down on the 7th fret, 4th string, so that I can now switch my pointer finger, middle finger, still using those fingers, down to be playing the 3rd string and the 4th string. So you have that, and you have just a nice harmonization of your notes there. So it would sound like this without the bass. And you know what makes it easy is really I'm just kind of holding this shape the whole time. And in addition to that, if you can get that part and just work in the thumb part, then you've got it. Now here's, let me do that slowly just so you have it as a reference. Alright, so then we're back to the E in the song, and I play this little part that goes. And let's break that down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip the thumb part initially, and then I'll go back and layer it on. The thumb is just doing the E every time anyway, so but I'll show you how that works together. But the first thing that happens, we're going to do this. Now what I'm doing there is I'm taking my pointer finger on the 7th fret 1st string, and my middle finger goes down on the 8th fret 2nd string. Now notice they stay down the whole time for this first few notes. And the first note that I play, oh, and the other thing is with my right hand, I'm playing that, I'm starting with my middle finger on the 2nd string, and you're going to naturally want to play that with your pointer finger probably, but just play it, trust me on this, play that with your middle finger, and you'll see why in a minute. But so your middle finger plays that 2nd string there, which is the 8th fret. Then I take my pinky and I come up to the 9th fret 1st string. If you can see it there. Now you may want to use your ring finger for that, whatever's easier. It's just easier for me to use my pinky for that. As long as you're playing the 9th fret 1st string, you're okay. So the first note is that one. And by the way, when I play that 8th fret 2nd string, I kind of push it a little bit sharp. Now you don't have to, you could leave it straight, and if you're new to this and it's just too much, don't worry about trying to bend it, but it gives it a nice kind of twangy thing if you can kind of bend that note. So anyway, after I play that, then I come up here, grab the 9th fret 1st string, then I let go with the 9th fret, and you know, since these two are down the whole time, all I'm doing is playing string 1 there, which is already being fretted by my pointer finger on the 7th fret. So I'm going to skip the thumb, so it's just 2 1 1 2. Those are the string numbers I'm calling out. 2 1 1 2. And I'm playing it on my right hand with my middle finger, ring finger, and middle finger. So it's. Now let's add in the thumb. The thumb comes in like this. Let's do it again. Really cool sound. It's got a very bluesy, you know, country blues. There's a lot of influence that you could, a lot of roots that go into a lick like that. Okay, now after that, the next thing that happens is this. Again, I'm going to skip the thumb for this part. Now notice what's happening there. I'm just playing the 1 string open, the 2 string open, so the open E, the open B. Then I come and I fret the 3rd string on the 2nd fret, and I play that with my pointer finger. So now notice I play ring finger, middle finger on the 2nd string. Whoops. Gotta fret it. Hopefully you can see those strings. It's just important that you use the right fingering. So that's why we were kind of using the middle finger and ring finger up here, so that when we come down to this position, we can do that and have those top 3 strings covered. All right, so we have. And notice the thumb, it keeps going just through the whole thing. Now after that, then I play middle finger on the 2nd string just to set up the next lick. And then that next lick is. And what I'm doing there is ring finger on the 3rd fret 1st string with a bend. That one's kind of important. It just gives it a real nice bluesy sound. Notice it's a bend, just that, not a full bend. So you're not going all the way up 2 frets. You're going up like just a little bit of a bend, almost like a half bend. After you bend it, it's an open 1 string, then the open 2 string again. So we have. So you see what I'm doing there? It's just 1, 1, 2. The fingering is ring, ring, middle. Back to that 3rd string on the 2nd fret. Back to the 2nd string open. And then I just kind of hammer on the 3rd string. I hammer on to the 1st fret like this. So I kind of play the open note first. So let's do that part now with the thumb. So it's. Let's do it slower. So we have. Let me do that one more time, do it slowly. Okay, so there's a mouthful there, but all right, let me back up. I'll play everything up to that point. Play a little bit slower than I did in the intro. So here we go. Alright, so then we come to the B7th chord, which I'm playing it up here, which I think sounds really cool. Just so you can visualize what this is, if you're used to playing an A7th chord, for example, down in 1st position, it's just that chord slid up 2 frets. Obviously you can't play the low A string with it, but you can play strings 4, 3, 2, and 1 to get that B7th. So that's how I'm fretting that. Actually, so what I'm doing, I'm barring the first 4 strings there on the 4th fret, and then I take my middle finger and play the 5th fret 1st string. And it's important to use your middle finger for that, because you're going to come up here and grab something, this note up here with your pinky, and it just gives you more leverage as opposed to playing it like this. So make sure you use your middle finger. Okay, so once we slide up, notice now the note, the drone note, or the bass note I should say, is this note. So it's the 4th fret 4th string. Let me slow that down. So you can see what's happening there is I'm playing with my ring finger and middle finger on the 1 and 2 string, and when I hit that string, I'm using my pointer finger on the 3rd string. Now I take my pinky and I come up here to the 7th fret 1st string, and when I do that I push down. I'm playing only strings 1 and 2 So I just push it down once. And it just gives it kind of a nice change, I guess. So when you practice this, just set the rhythm with your thumb on the 4th fret, 4th string, and then add this in. Okay, now we come to the A part, which is and for that, I'm just playing an A7th chord. It's the same shape that I played here. This time I'm playing it, so I'm borrowing the first 4 strings on the 2nd fret. My ring finger comes down on the 3rd fret, 1st string. And so what I'm doing is I'm playing the chord by, strings 3, 2, and 1 with my pointer, middle, and ring finger. So I hit them all at once. And then after that, I take that off the fretboard and play strings 1 and 2 again. Okay? And notice that I'm doing a little bend there on the 3rd fret, 1st string. And after that bend, I go. And that's just sliding up. It's actually the first, when we played that E7th chord, it's the same thing, just minus the, make sure your ring finger is off the fretboard. So I'm sliding up here to the 4th fret, middle finger's on the 4th fret, 3rd string, pointer finger's on the 3rd fret, 2nd string, and I'm playing strings 3, 2, 1. Watch the right hand. 3, 2, 1. Then after that, I go ahead and slide back down to the 2nd fret on the 3rd string. Then I come down and play the 1st string. I'm sorry, the 1st fret, 3rd string. So it's. And after that, my middle finger comes down on the 2nd fret, 4th string. So it's. And what I do is actually, I'm not picking those notes with my right hand. Watch it. It's a pull off. With the left hand, it's a pull off and a hammer on. And when you're doing the thumb in conjunction with that, it kind of makes sense. So it's like, so now after that, after I come down and play that note, I immediately take the thumb down to the E string to define that part of the song, and you'll hear it with your ear. Right there. And as soon as I do that, then the little turnaround part is. And for that, all I'm doing is I take my pointer finger down on the 2nd fret, 5th string, and I hammer on here on the same, also on the 5th fret, but this time on the also on the 5th string, this time on the 4th fret. So those notes. Now after that, then I did that with my pointer finger. Then I take my middle finger and I grab this open D string or the open 4th string. So it creates a really kind of weird sound there, but it works when it happens quickly and in context. Now after I hit that, then I'm back to the 5th fret. I'm sorry, back to the 4th fret, 5th string. Then back to the 2nd fret, 5th string. Then I go ahead and take my hand off the fretboard and play the open A string or the open 5th string. So it's. Then I take my middle finger on the 3rd fret, 3rd fret, 6th string, and then release it and play just the open 6th string. So. Let me do that slowly. Watch the fingers I'm using here, the right hand. Middle finger, pointer, 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 thumb. When I play the 3rd fret 6th string, I use my thumb. I use my thumb again to do the open 6th string. Then I come up here and kind of round that out by playing an octave higher than that. So I play an E note here by fretting the second fret 4th string. So you can hear it's an octave. So slowly it sounds like this. Now, after that, I take my hand off the fretboard and just play the open D string and the open 4th string. And then I just create the B7th chord, which is, before we played it up here, now we're playing it here. And for that, I'm just using my middle finger on the 5th fret, or 5th string, 2nd fret. I'm sorry, I'm having such a hard time with it. Middle finger, second fret, 5th string. Pointer finger is on the 1st fret, 4th string, and ring finger is on the 2nd fret, 3rd string. And when you play that, you really kind of play those middle 5 strings. So 5, 4, 3, and 2. Notice the fingers I'm using is thumb, pointer, middle, index, or ring. Okay. All right, so let me go ahead and play through everything. I'll do it slowly. You have this as a reference. So here we go. Well, that's all I have for this part, so make sure you watch the second part if you want to learn the second half. And you can get that again at activemelody.com. Just look for EP037.